Well, as per the discussions that we've been having over the last 2 days or so, my understanding of a knowledge broker is someone who is an intermediary between information or knowledge and persons or groups that do not have that information, and so you kind of are in the middle. You get access to the information and you try to explain it for their understanding. So that's how I see a knowledge broker to be.
There's been a lot of back and forth with this knowledge brokership, and what I understand by the term is a mediation, sort of somebody who takes that knowledge and repackages it and makes it useful to other people. So, for example, from my point of view as a communication specialist, I think I am a knowledge broker because I am the link. I make that last mile connection between the researcher and the policymakers who actually need that knowledge to be able to make evidence-based
Knowledge brokering is actually promoting that process of knowledge and flow between parties who are willing to share the information or knowledge voluntarily.
Well, there's one thing that I think I've learned during this event. I think it's taking knowledge or information and repackaging it for use by your target audience. So it's making it easier to use, possibly by analyzing the information, comparing information. So I'm still grappling with the fact whether we are actually knowledge brokers, because we do through our website and through our e-newsletters try and repackage information according to themes. But we don't, we have our themed newsletters, and through our search engine you can break down information, you can find information around, community radio in Botswana and HIV/AIDS, but it's not comparing information and analyzing it. That's not something that we do. And, yeah.
Well, from my learning yesterday, I think it's somebody who is adding something to information they have found. They add their perspective to it, therefore creating something a bit new. So it's not exactly what it was before, and then giving that out to others who might find it useful, or to help other people to connect the dots in their work. So it's about getting a piece of information, making it relevant to a particular audience, and giving it to
I think the knowledge broker is I would say a person, not so much an organization, as a person who finds the answer that a person is looking for and points to the right direction, to the source of information where he or she can find its information. So it helps users to gather the information from the big pile of information that's out there.
My understanding of knowledge broker is, at first I thought it was more like a gatekeeper who sits in between and says, this is good for you, this is not good for you. But now I've come to understand that it's actually more complex than just that. It's a conduit for which information is passed through and censored, or making it much usable in a way, so that, again, whether you call it censorship or not, I think it's still a good thing. But at the same time, it's trying to also promote the diversity of the information around, so that people can, put in signposting and say, well, there is that information there, there's that information there. So I think probably that's what clearly, I understand now.
After the last day and a half, it's clearly a word that means a variety of different things to different people. In its broadest sense, which I think over these few days now here, it's my idea of it is actually broader than it was before. And in terms of some of the activities that we've heard of people who classify themselves as knowledge brokers, there is a very broad spectrum of work that they're aiming to do. I mean, even to the extent that yesterday there was a term suggested of innovation broker, so actually going beyond knowledge. And of course, we've also already talked about the distinctions between data, information, knowledge, and now innovation. So there is the potential for people to think of themselves as brokers across all those four elements. And I guess it's probably sensible for people in this field to do that, to make sure that we have as broad a kaleidoscope of possible work and actions and objectives as possible, to make sure that we maximise the opportunities that we have and make ourselves most effective in reaching the people that we want to do. Within the brokering function, I suppose it's easy to draw some broad categories of focus. One is sort of more internal and vaguely technical in nature about the management of the knowledge, the information, the organisation of it, and to some extent the way it's parcelled, packaged and presented. So that's a kind of technical professional area of expertise. And the other large category of activity, which varies enormously, is how you reach potential users of that knowledge and how you try to influence and achieve impact that you think the knowledge that you have in your store deserves to have. And that's a much more people and process activity, and so therefore is less susceptible to talking about techniques and methods, but people obviously do try and share knowledge about how they manage to reach different people and get them interested and get them to digest and remember the encounters they've had with the knowledge that the people in this area are trying to broker.